Well, butter my bread and call it toast. The Maui News Sports Report is back. We're here clean shaven. MIL football is in full swing, and it's time to roll. I'm Rob Colias. He's Jordan Helly. In this season lid lifter, we're going to start with the return of the big game. Maui High, Baldwin, always a fan favorite, and it has been the sole property of the Baldwin Bears for the last 13 years. They won 26 in a row dating back to 2000, Jordan. But this year it looks like it could be a very different story.
Yeah, it's setting up to be one of maybe the best games since those early 2000 years, and Baldwin has owned that rivalry, but I think Maui High much improved over the last 4 years under Coach David Bowie. He's really set that foundation and built his program the right way, and it's really paying dividends this year. They got a lot of returnees in the junior and senior classes. Maui High comes in 2-0. 1-0 in league play after a dominant victory over Kamehameha Maui on Thursday night. Also had a nice victory in non-league play over Big Island Power KEKAULIKE 28-7, where they were missing some guys, and they got those guys back this past weekend in the opening round of MIL play, and it really showed. They're coming off their first winning season since 2003. Went 6-4 last year overall, 4-4 in MIL play, and probably with their best team since 2003, or maybe even earlier. But Maui High looks really good at this point in the season. They look like they really know what they want to do offensively. They're running the football, steamrolling teams to the tune of 300-400 yards a game behind a big offensive line and that wing T, Daniel Kelly, kind of that main workhorse in the rushing attack. They got Austin Hoy, their quarterback, back, and Tristan Nichols, their big tight end. Really opens things up for them offensively as well in the passing game. They played Baldwin to a 7-0 defeat last year, a tight game in their second meeting, so a lot to build off of there. And that solid yearly improvement with a lot of guys back. The Viney Kohler brothers, I mentioned Hoy and Kelly on the offensive side of the ball. Nichols also plays defensive line. You got Soane Valheo, plays in all three phases of the game, who does a really, really good job, and that sets up a fun matchup because Maui High is such improved. Baldwin, I think a lot of people expecting them to be a little down this year, but I think they proved some things Saturday night in their game against Edison, a Southern California power, leading up to next week's big game on Friday. But Baldwin getting that first game under their belt, I think they showed some things. Defensively, the front seven or so is really solid. Nohe Kiai, Kavena Alo, Nohe, really hard to run the ball on them. So it'll be fun, strength-on-strength matchup with Maui High's rushing attack. Baldwin's front eight or so trying to stop the run. And they found themselves a quarterback. I think Tasia Conker-Foster went 14-28, had 7 drops, should have been 21 of 28 in that game. Also ran for a touchdown, showed some real decisiveness, really comfortable in that offense. So I think it really sets up a fun matchup on Friday night in the big game, especially with Maui High coming off of a couple impressive victories, including their opener in the MIL.
And there's just no doubt that the fact that this game is back, it's good for the league. It's good for everybody in this league. And folks that think Maui High is going to roll in this one, I think Baldwin's demise has been greatly exaggerated, to steal a line from Mark Twain there. As you mentioned, Jordan, Maui High opened with a 48-11 win over Kamehameha Maui. Daniel Kelly followed up a 225-yard rushing performance with 150 yards in that league opener. Onosai Emilio, who also sees a ton of action on defense, 111 yards rushing. The Sabres brought back memories of Curtis Lee and in the glory days, 353 yards rushing. Austin Hoy was 2 for 4, both completions to the big tight end, Tristan Nichols. I think that's a combination we're going to see more and more of. And, just a revamped Maui High team, but Baldwin is still very, very good. Can't wait for Friday night. Kamehameha Maui looked solid as well. They showed some flashes. Chase Newton, 73 yards rushing, 225 yards passing. And Joshua Hiwatashi just showed that he's ready for a really big year as a receiver. 13 catches, 196 yards, and should be just looking at all the MIL teams. We haven't even mentioned the best one in the Lunas yet. I think that the entire league is up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun to watch this season. You're going to see some competitive games, some improved teams all around, and it should be a fun MIL season. Lahainaluna, you mentioned them, #1 team in Division II in all the major polls, and they look like it on Friday night this past weekend, rolling up a 47-7 victory over King KEKAULIKE in their MIL opener. They're now 2-0 on the season, picked up a big win in their non-league game against Kapa'a of Kauai earlier in the season. and they look like a well-oiled machine in mid-season form. And just following that Luna blueprint, 445 yards rushing, 11 ball carriers. They look like the great Lahaina Luna teams of old, and they're looking like all the bit of state championship contender. King KEKAULIKE looked improved offensively. They continue to improve. I think Kalika Hamalan has been very impressive. Their quarterback, 7 of 13 passing, great rhythm in the passing game, and then also added 31 rushing yards. They only trailed at 14-7 midway through the second quarter, and then that Luna rushing attack just took its toll.
And as we gear up for the season, we have 8-man football opening on Thursday. KEKAULIKE Charter makes their debut in that sport against St. Anthony on Thursday. Girls volleyball starts with a jamboree Saturday at the Old Lady of Wailuku War Memorial Gym, and we will get much more into that as we go along. We want to know what you guys want to see. Email me at sports@Maui News. Get a hold of Jordan however you can. His Twitter handle @JordanHelly. And let us know what you guys want to see, because we're here for you. And send us your bobbleheads.